what you're saying is like, hey, if you see that, call it out, have a kind, compassionate chat with your loved one. What are some other ways to kind of reduce stigma, maybe especially around bipolar disorder, but even just any mental health if it is going on in the family system?
Yeah, I think, especially when I work with clients who either have the diagnosis or are thinking about getting one, I'm like, we want you to get it not because we care about the label, but we
Huh.
want you to have the self-compassion so
Oh,
that you
okay.
notice like, oh, hey, like especially with bipolar, like there's something called spring mania, right?
Okay.
So like as soon as March rolls around and the days get longer, you notice a lot more people are being treated for manic episodes. So
Hmm.
having that label helps us plan, and
Okay.
that's where compassion kicks in, right?
Yes.
And even with depression, like as we know, lots of people get seasonal depression, right? So
Yes.
like we don't care about the depression part as like what it means as a label. We want the self-compassion. So
Yeah.
days are going to get shorter.
Yeah.
Maybe we need to have more family like connections planned or activities planned,
For
things
sure.
like that, right?
Yes, yes, and it's so key to know these little things because then
Mm-hmm.
you know what to look out for, and weather is so correlated with mood and mood dysregulation. But then, of course, sometimes in the culture, mood dysregulation will be excused away as a gender thing, like oh,
Yeah.
the garam savaya, men are given that permission, or oh,
Yeah,
she's being dramatic, the drama kar di rendi hai, so it's kind of
exactly.
excused away for females as a hormonal thing. Sometimes what we see is the spiritual excuses as well. Oh,
Yes,
if
oh
there's
man.
stuff like that. So,
Mm-hmm.
what would you say if someone's family is using that kind of terminology and explanations?
I would say, I understand that maybe this served a purpose back in the day, right? Like
Mm,
as a way to kind of explain behavior.
yeah,
However, it's not actually going to help
yeah.
the person who's suffering to be like, okay, like think about if that was you and somebody said, "Tere puta gaya," like I would be terrified.
Yeah,
Do you know
it's
what I
not
mean?
helping anyone.
No, and I
Yeah,
think I would say, like, I understand maybe this is learned behavior, learned language, but now we're in a space where we can learn new behavior and
yeah,
language, right?
yeah,
And so we would want to start introducing, like, okay, he's not feeling well, right?
yeah,
Something doesn't seem right,
yeah,
and opening up that discussion. Like, I
yeah,
notice you haven't been sleeping. Can we talk about it, right?
yes.
Or, like, should I connect you with the doctor? Should I make the appointment for you?
Mm-hmm.
Those conversations are going to be a lot more helpful than, oh, de puta, yeah,
Yeah,
right?
yes. And like you said, it's traditionally what's familiar to them. So perhaps there's more of a tendency to go to a spiritual healer or someone of an alternative
Yeah.
practice, and there's a lot more comfort there because that's what existed. And to go chat to a mental health practitioner, it's so foreign.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Actually, I didn't think about that either because we do see that in our community where it's easier to go to the Baba for
Hmm.
like a prayer and like some guidance than it is to like go
Yeah.
to a counselor. And it's exactly what you said though, right? Like that's comfortable. Everybody goes, we
Yeah.
can talk about it, we can share it with our family, Hama Babe ko lagay, so everything's fine. But again, like we have to open the door to be like, no, I went to my therapist instead, right? Or my doctor ko or
Yeah.
psychiatrist ko lagay, because
Yeah.
again, that's part of the generational trauma, right? Where
Yeah.
we're still repeating those patterns, but coming to therapy is where we're breaking the cycle,
Yeah,
right?
what a powerful thing, right? The
Mm-hmm.
newer generations definitely making waves with that, with all everything you see on social media, the different accounts.
Yeah.
It is neat to see, and it's lovely, and it's definitely encouraging for people like us to then go add to the conversation and just kind of thicken the dialogue. But even with spirituality, I feel like sometimes maybe people might have the misconception that it's either this or that. But personally, I love to even weave in the spiritual aspect
Yes.
in Sikhism. And Sikhism is a beautiful religion, and it has so much value in terms of mental health resourcing. And I've even sent shabs to my clients
Yeah.
before because these are the things I use. So
Yeah.
I think it's a part of it. Like there's biology, psychology, your social circle, and then also because of our lineage, who we are
Yeah.
inherently, there is that spiritual side.